Welcome to another edition of Conversations with CASA, a monthly news blog produced by Texas CASA that examines issues and trends in the child welfare system. Our guest today is Lorraine Martinez. Welcome, Lorraine.
Thank you.
My name is Vicki Spriggs. I'm the CEO of Texas CASA, and we're filming at our offices in Austin, Texas. Again, Lorraine Martinez is our guest today, and Lorraine is the executive director of the STAR Health program at Superior Health Plan. She's worked directly with the Texas foster care community for the past 23 years. Lorraine first began her calling protecting abused and neglected children, working as a child protective specialist. Continued her social work tenure employed as a regional director for a child placing agency, served as a CASA volunteer, and a child welfare board president. In May of 2007, Lorraine joined Superior Health Plan in efforts to make a more significant impact in the lives of foster children, advocating within the healthcare industry. In 2018, Lorraine accepted the position of executive director and leads efforts to transform the platform of services delivered to children and youth placed in Texas foster care, with the collaboration of the Department of Family and Protective Services and the Health and Human Services Commission. Again, 23 years. You must have started when you were 5?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, Lorraine, and thank you. And thank you for being a CASA volunteer as well. I appreciate that advocacy. And I know you made a difference for children at that time as well. For those of us who are viewing who are not familiar with STAR Health and the healthcare plan, can you tell us what services are available for children and youth in care?
Sure. So STAR Health was created in 2008, back in April, and it's a specialized Medicaid managed care program dedicated to serving the unique needs of children in foster care and the caregivers and caseworkers. We really provide a one-stop shop. It's a venue, a resource that people can go to access all healthcare services. So your physical health services, your behavioral health, your dental, your vision, and your pharmacy. We take accountability to make sure that children are getting the services they need.
Super. So if you're a CASA volunteer working with a child who has a need for mental health care as well as significant dental care, how do they go about accessing your services?
So it would be important for the CASA volunteer to coordinate with the caregiver or the medical consenter or even the caseworker. There's a toll-free number, 1-866-912-6283.
And you'll say it again?
866-912-6283, and they can call and request services. Because we are bound by HIPAA, we are required to only speak to authorized callers, and DFPS identifies who those callers are, and those are your caseworkers, your medical consenters, and your caregivers. But by all means, CASA volunteers should advocate for the healthcare needs, and if there's a barrier, they should request that someone call us to coordinate that care.
Super, thank you. And I also understand you all provide a lot of value-added services, including specialized training.
Yes.
So what kinds of training are we talking about? And how would a volunteer access the training? And is that appropriate for a volunteer?
So that was a loaded question. So value-added services are extra benefits beyond Medicaid that Superior offers children in foster care. So we have a wide range of benefits that children in care can access, including those that age out and are still covered by our program. And so we offer $100 of care grant per year per child. We want to make sure that we can provide additional services like clothing. You and I both know, Vicki, sometimes children only come with the clothes on their back. So we can help caregivers provide that additional support through clothing, art supplies, weighted blankets, anything that will help the child and their therapeutic needs. We also have additional enhanced vision benefits where children can access services beyond Medicaid for features like frames that are not covered by Medicaid to help support normalcy. We do have $25 Boys and Girl Club memberships that we can offer, as well as sports and camps physicals. You and I both know it's important for children to get involved in their local community and activities. We also have over-the-counter medication and services that they can access through the mail that we can help make sure that they can access. We also have a program that's called A2A, Adolescent to Adult, helping youth take empowerment of their health care, so they get rewards if they go to their preventative screenings. And so we want to make sure that they're engaged with our staff, and they can also enroll by calling our 1-800 number to access those services. We also have a dedicated team of Star Health clinicians around the state, and that list can be accessed on our Foster Care TX website. And we have that identified at our resource tab under training, and those clinicians can provide trauma-informed trainings to anyone in the community, including CASA volunteers, as well as caseworkers and foster parents. We do trauma-informed initiatives. We are starting one this year for ACE. I don't know if you're familiar with the adverse childhood events, and trying to identify and help the community understand how traumatic events actually impact a child's well-being. And so that's one of the initiatives that we're focusing on. But we offer a variety of specialized conditions and chronic illnesses, and how do caregivers better support children in their care so we can promote placement stability.
That's exciting and pretty comprehensive. Are you finding that your services are utilized at the level you would expect, or are they underutilized? What are you seeing?
Underutilized. We were having a conversation earlier that I've been with Superior for 12 years and the program has been live for 11, and I still find it unacceptable that the whole community doesn't know about us. I want everyone in foster care who supports a child, who supports a caseworker, who is speaking and advocating on behalf of the child, to understand the services that are available. And if services are not working, I want to know about it. So I want people out there to know how to contact me. You can email me, text me, call me. If there is a barrier, I want to advocate for a fix. And so my email address is lorraine.martinez@superiorhealthplan.com. You can call me direct, 512-993-2105. I'll even give you my cell phone number, 512-202-2553. I have a dedicated team of leadership who run this operation day in and day out. They come from the foster care community as well, and we're dedicated to make a difference and get the word out there.
Oh, I appreciate the energy and the passion that you bring to this. I know it's real because you've been doing it for so long, and you volunteered as well, so I know it's real. I absolutely appreciate the fact that you said two things that are key to how we look at the world as it relates to children in foster care, which is normalcy and a trauma-informed approach. And so I really commend that. When the clinicians provide training, so they're talking to foster parents in the community, a CASA volunteer, these are citizens who are coming in off the street to do something for children. How do they communicate that trauma-informed approach message? I mean, how do they help the provider, the volunteer, the foster parent, understand the connection between the behavior and trauma? Is it academic? Do they really talk to them as people to communicate that information? How's that training provided?
Well, it's going to be contingent on the person that's getting trained. So there's different levels of understanding with trauma, and so based on their level, that's how we're going to meet them. I do not believe that you can just provide one standard type of training that's really going to impact the community and help make a difference for the life of a child. So we do have different variations and different curriculums that we can help provide based on the audience.
Thank you. So what is the smallest and the largest group that training can be requested and provided?
We can do one-on-one.
Really?
If that's what's requested. Obviously we have staff and we want to make the most use of our time, and Texas is so big. So if we can gather others, that would be beneficial and preferred, but absolutely we will do whatever we can to help support, because if we're making a difference by communicating with one person, that person is going to have the opportunity to impact the life of a child, and that is a win.
Super, excellent. Let's see, what else would a CASA volunteer want to know? What would you like a CASA volunteer to know that you haven't said yet, having been a CASA volunteer?
I don't want CASA to struggle with health care. They can impact the world in so many other different ways, and if I and my team can take that health care struggle off of their shoulders, let us do that. but we're not going to know unless someone calls us and tells us that there's a barrier. So there has to be that support and that advocacy through the caregiver and whoever's taking care of that child. Have you called Star Health? We have Health Passport that's available. It's a patient-centered medical record that caseworkers can access even at court. So if there's information that the judge needs to know or the CASA volunteer needs to know about medications, that is loaded daily. We have Medicaid claims that we get on a daily basis. Even 2 years of Medicaid history for children that are newly removed. I used to be a caseworker. I remember having a guessing game of trying to figure out what services the child was receiving, what medication, what equipment, even from placement to placement. And Health Passport can be such a wonderful tool for CASAs and caseworkers as long as they're communicating and sharing that information.
Super. Thank you. I don't have another question. I do think I need to acknowledge that you are the newest member of the Texas CASA Board of Directors, and we thank you for extending that advocacy again and that passion for making that qualitative difference to the work of our board.
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This concludes another edition of Conversations with CASA. I'd like to thank our guest, Lorraine Martinez, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time.